Hello guys, welcome back. As you know, a C# loop usually repeats code until a condition becomes false. Then our application continues with other code. But some loops don't end and repeat the same code over and over again. In this lecture, we're gonna discuss infinite loops. An infinite loop is a loop that never terminates and repeats forever. When such a forever loop goes on for a while, our application can freeze and crash. Not every infinite loop is that bad. However, there are two types of infinite loops. An intentional infinite loop keeps our application active until we quit it, or an unintentional infinite loop happens by accident. These unintentional infinite loops can negatively impact the performance of our application. When we say infinite loop, we usually mean those unintentional loops that cause problems. The most common way to avoid an infinite loop is to ensure that any loops we create have a well-defined termination condition. For example, in this nested loop, the termination condition is not properly managed because the variable j is never incremented within the nested while loop. As a result, once the inner while loop is entered, j will always remain 0, and the condition j is less than 5 will always be true. To fix the infinite loop, we need to increment the value of j within the nested while loop. Now, the inner while loop will increment j by 1 until it reaches 5. This process will repeat until I reaches 10, and then the loop will terminate. Okay, in this example, we have a for loop that initializes I with a value of 1, and continues as long as I is greater than 0. Inside the iteration part, we increment I by 1 with I++. This loop will result in an infinite loop as well. Since I is initially 1 and we keep incrementing it by 1 in each iteration, so I will never become less than or equal to 0. Therefore, the condition I is greater than 0 will always be true, causing the loop to continue indefinitely. Alright, there are several ways to create an infinite loop in C#, but the most common way is by using a while loop or a for loop with a condition that always evaluates to true. In this for loop, the loop declaration consists of empty sections for initialization, condition, and iteration. Since all three sections are empty, the loop will continue indefinitely without any control condition. In the while loop example, the condition true is always true, so the loop will continue executing forever. The block of code within the loop will be repeated over and over again until encountering a jump statement such as a break statement. Okay, let's dive into VS Code and see infinite loops in action. Okay, we want to create an application that prompts the user to type something and echoes it back in uppercase. And this process should be continued forever. First, let's display a message to the user asking them to type something. Next, with a while loop, we create an infinite loop to keep asking the user to type something. Now, inside the loop, let's get the user's input. Then, let's echo the input back to the user in uppercase with the toUpper method. Okay, let's run the application to see the result. As you can see, the application works fine and allows us to input as much data as we need. However, an intentional infinite loop also needs some way to exit the loop. For now, in the terminal, let's terminate the application by pressing Ctrl and C. Okay, we can use break, return and go to statements inside the loop to exit when a specific condition is met. To achieve this, let's add an if statement and check if the input is equal to a stop. If it is, we display goodbye in the terminal. Then let's terminate the loop using the break statement. As you can see, we used the toLower method to make sure that the condition is case insensitive. Okay, let's run the application again. Now let's put a stop as the input. As you can see, the application works fine and terminates the loop. Okay, done. See you soon in the next lecture.